I want to start by talking about this very unique experience I just had. My wife, Liza, wrote a play called Apostrophe, and she got a production of it up on Whidbey Island, which was really fun. The play's terrific. Cast is amazing. Really proud of my wife. One of the cool things is it's a very small town. I was wandering around this small town, and I immediately started to get to know everybody because I stick out a little bit. So it starts with just people in town saying hi, and then I go to sit down at one point, and I'm there not very long when the police chief walks by, this very nice, very cool guy, Chief Javier Wasser. I meet him. We start chatting. Lovely guy. We strike up a friendship. The next thing I know, he's saying, "Would you like to meet the mayor?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd like to meet the mayor." Sure. The answer to "do you want to meet the mayor" is yes.
Yeah.
I want to meet the mayor. So I say, yes, I want to meet the mayor. And he says, great. And then we exchange numbers. Then I'm texting the police chief back and forth. And also thinking, I've got a get out of jail free card right now.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. So you could speed.
Oh, I stole things.
Didn't you?
It was a crime spree.
Did you do a little murder?
Maybe there was a little murder.
Oh, you don't have to say.
A little.
You don't have to say.
Let's just say I dabbled in murder.
Okay.
I dipped my toe in murder.
All right.
Anyway, we're back and forth, and then he says, yeah, come on by the city hall at 2. I'm walking around, and then it starts to get to be near 2 o'clock, and I'm with my daughter, and then I'm thinking, where's the city hall? And someone comes rushing out of their store, and they go, oh, hi, Conan, I'm headed over to your ceremony. And I'm like,
what?
Ceremony? I said, do you know where City Hall is? And she says, yeah, everything is 1 block away from everything else. It's right there. So we go over, and sure enough, they've planned, I get a tour. Police chief introduces me to the mayor, and then we get shown through the City Hall. People are incredibly nice, and then they have a crowd out behind City Hall, and they have an impromptu ceremony, and they dedicate a trash can to me.
What?
Wait,
Yes.
I'm the talking trash can here. This
I know.
is highway robbery.
Yeah, and so there's a trash can there, and they very quickly, the mayor had a speech.
What?
That he found someone in town to write for him, and then I met the kid who wrote the speech, and I said, so he looked like he's about 19, he's wearing a little bow tie, and I said, so you work for the mayor? And he went, oh no, the mayor just saw me buying a cappuccino and said I need a speech for Conan O'Brien induction, into the Trash Can Hall of Fame.
So is that an honor?
Yeah. I think the thing to do is to just say, yes, it is.
Okay.
So
okay.
They quickly, it was kind of a joke, but they just put a sign on it that said the Conan can. And now Mike Sweeney, who used to, he and his lovely wife, Cynthia, they both flew up to see this play.
Oh, that's nice.
Because they're tight with Liza as well. And so they came up, and Mike Sweeney's the writer, sort of lead field guy who has done all of the Conan travel shows.
Yeah.
So Mike Sweeney hears that I'm doing this, and he rushes over from his Airbnb, and he's like, okay, I've got some jokes for you. I've got some things you could do, and I'm going to shoot it all. And then he's shooting it wildly with his iPhone. I think, hey, our travel shows are back after 2.5 years of COVID. We're back.
This is your return.
I'm on Whidbey Island with the mayor, and it's totally something we would have done in one of our travel shows. Completely something we would have done.
We would like to dedicate this trash can that has long served our community to a person that embodies civil service. Nearly as much as the trash can itself. The city of Langley has long been looking for a person to dedicate this icon of civil service to. And when we heard that Conan O'Brien had decided to visit our humble retirement community in celebration of his own retirement, we knew we had our hero.
So we have that experience, and they asked me to sign the trash can. They give me a Sharpie, so I drew a little Conan, and I write, what an honor, and then I sign it and date it, and it's an actual trash can that's going to be there at Whidbey Island for the foreseeable future until they honor the next person who comes to town. But I had that experience, and I thought, this is really fantastic, and then I'm like feeling kind of full of myself, and just because it's a big experience, a heady experience, yeah. And also just a little dazed, little like we flew up there. I didn't get much sleep. My wife's got this play. I'm going to go see that in about an hour. And I'm a little just off kilter. And I'm walking down the street, and these two kids see me. They look like sort of, maybe 19. And one of them turns around and goes, whoa, Conan O'Brien. And I said, oh, hey, guys. And they're like, wow, we heard you were in town. We didn't believe it. This is crazy. And I went, yeah, well, nice talking to you. And they're like, nice talking to you too. And then I wanted to say something afterwards. And I don't know why I said this, but I wrote it down in my journal. I wrote, have some good time.
Oh,
no.
Oh,
I wrote it
man.
down. Have some good time.
They must have thought like some imposter Conan O'Brien had come to the island where it's like we couldn't afford the real Conan O'Brien.
We got
so they
this
said-
guy.
I think you were desperate to find something to say to them.
And I didn't have
and
it.
you
I
didn't
have it. And I remember just sort of turning around and going, have some good time. And then I turned back and I'm walking and I turned to my daughter and I said, have some good time.
Was she embarrassed?
She was just shook her head like that was not good.
You were up there, too. You were doing really great.
No, I was killing it. I
Yeah.
had, Chief Wasser
Yeah.
on my speed dial, Mayor. I'm, elevated to the point where I get my own trash can.
Yeah, you've
And
peaked. You've peaked.
I peaked, and then I had it, and I was walking away from these kids, and I shout out, have some good time.
That's because-
And it's over now.
Yeah.
Because you peaked at the trash can and it's downhill from there.
It's also I get this. You're so desperate. Not you, but in general.
One is
people
so
are-
desperate, not me.
People are
He's pretty
very
desperate.
desperate to make teenagers think they're cool.
Yeah.
And they thought you were cool. You had them.
I
and
had
then
it.
you said,
I had
have
it.
some good time. And then they were like, oh, we thought he was cool.
But you know what it reminded me of? When you're in a country, China or Korea, or Japan, they do that thing where they use English words, but it doesn't quite make sense.
Yeah.
Like, hooray, good fun noodles. You'll
yeah,
see that. I made one of those. I speak English. And I was born here, and I said, have some good time.
You turned into AI Conan.
It was K.I. Conan, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Anyway, I think the slogan for Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend should be, have some good time.
That's a great slogan. I like that.
Have some good time.
Yeah, man.